Hello everyone, I am Prankur Gupta and today we are going to understand constructor inheritance in Java. Now in my previous lesson I have already talked about what is inheritance in Java. Now while we are creating the object of derived class, we know that there must be a constructor in derived class, or you can say by default a default constructor will be called. But now there is a problem. Now we are creating the object of derived class, but there is also a upper base class which can also have a constructor. Now whose constructor will be called first? I mean, we are creating the object of derived class, we know that. Then but the which constructor will be called first, the base class constructor or the derived class? We are going to cover that in this lesson. Okay, now let us see. Before telling you how constructor inheritance works, just keep in mind these points. Okay, in inheritance, derived class constructor always first called the base class constructor using super, then its own constructor. It means that in inheritance, we know that we have to create the object of derived class. Then must be the derived class constructor should be called. Now if the derived class constructor is getting called, now inside that derived class constructor, actually the constructor of upper base class gets called. How? Using super keyword. Basically it is obvious that if we are creating the object of def, I mean derived class, then must be the constructor of derived class must be called. But inside the inside the constructor of derived class, the constructor of base class gets called automatically. Okay, so now this is the first point. Now derived class constructor can never initialize the data members of base class. It means that whatever the first values we have to given to any variable, that cannot be given by derived class to any base class data members. Okay, I mean if there we have any data member of base class like integer a and integer b, we cannot initialize them inside derived class constructor. Okay, it must be initialized using the base class constructor or by constants. Now derived class constructor can override the values of data members of base class. It means that if we have already given the initialized values to the data members of base class, but derived class constructor can override those values. I mean it cannot give the initial values, but it can override those values. Okay, now let us see with the help of example how we can achieve these all. Now here in this example, basically I have a base class which is ABC and I have a derived class called def which is extending ABC. Now we know that we have to create the object of def. Why? Because this is a derived class, it is having all the features of ABC and also it is having some additional features. Now if I try to create the object of def, I have already told you the constructor of def will be called because we are creating the object of def. Now inside that constructor, the constructor of ABC will be called automatically by JVM using super keyword. Okay, but here we have not created the constructor of ABC. Then what type of constructor will be called? Basically it will call the default constructor of ABC. We know that what is the purpose of default constructor. Default constructor basically gives some initial values to the data members of the class. So when we call the constructor of ABC using super keyword, it will call the default constructor of ABC class, which will give some initial values to this A and B. And what will be those initial values? Those will be the default values of A and B. Now we know that integer have by default 0 value, so basically these will be initialized with 0 and 0. And after this statement, we are basically overwriting the values of A and B. We know that A and B gets initialized by default constructor of ABC using this super keyword. Now after this statement, we are overriding the values of A and B. Here you can see that I am giving 10 to A and 20 to B. So basically here we are not initializing the values of A and B, we are basically overriding. Why? Because already by the default constructor of ABC, the values of A and B gets initialized by 0 and 0. Okay, now if we try to print the values of A and B, it must be 10 and 20. Okay, now let us see what is non-parameterized constructor inheritance. Now in my previous example I have not created any constructor. Now in this example I have created a non-parameterized constructor in ABC class, which is a base class. Now if I have created a constructor in base class and I have give some initial values like 10 and 12, and we know that it must be called at the very first line of def constructor. Now there is one question: this super keyword statement can be written at the end of this constructor? The answer is no. It must be at the very beginning of this constructor. Okay, it must be called first, and it will be automatically done by the JVM. Okay, we don't have to write that. Okay, now after this statement we know that the values of a and b are 10 and 12. Now after this statement we are overriding the values of a and b by 10 and 20. So the final value, if we try to print them, it will be 10 and 20. Okay, because we are calling display. So when we are calling display, we know that the values of a and b gets override by the constructor of def. Okay, so the final values of a and b will be 10 and 20. Now let us see a parameterized constructor inheritance. Now what is parameterized constructor inheritance? Basically, when in our base class we have parameterized constructor, it is known as parameterized constructor inheritance. Now parameterized constructor cannot be called automatically. It means that if we have created a parameterized constructor in our base class, it will not automatically called by the JVM. We have to write a statement to pass the parameters and then it will be called. So this statement must be written by the programmer. Okay, super a comma b, and from where these a and b will become? These will come from the while we are creating the object of def class, we have to pass the initial values of a and b also along with the c and d. Okay, here we have c and d, which are the basically data members of def class. We can also give the initial values to them, and we are also passing the values of a and b, as you can see here. So basically while I am creating the object of def class, I am passing 4 values: 10, 20, 40, 50, and 10 and 20 will be goes to a and b, and 40 and 50 will be goes to c and d. So basically here a and b are, I am passing them to the constructor of ABC class, and c and d I am assigning these values to the data members of def. Okay, so basically when I try to print the values of a, b, and c and d, I will get 10, 20, 40, and 50. Guys, this is a simple example telling you how constructor works while we are inheriting one class. Okay, now I hope guys you like my video. If you like it, then don't forget to follow and share this video. This is my Unacademy profile link. Thank you guys.